None of us in here can be considered traditional women. And back then, an average guy could get a traditional woman. And now what does he get? He gets a boss babe, a girl that's been ran through. He gets an ex. He gets a born again virgin. Like,
and what do
this
I
is
get?
as women, this is what do we get? We still get protection and provisioning.
Are you sure?
And the average salary, but here's the thing. The average salary could cover an apartment. But the thing is, like, women, we want this lifestyle that's not even realistic nowadays. Like, we want men that make more than we do, and we want them to pay all of the bills. But it's like, we all have our nails done. We get our hair dyed. We have makeup. We have all of this stuff that costs money because we want this lifestyle. And I've had girls come on my show and I say, would you date an average guy for companionship? But you would have to go down in lifestyle. And they say, no, we're addicted to lifestyle.
Why are not average men good enough for average women? All these men out here that I know that's productive, assertive, confident, and they work, take care of themselves, self-sufficient. Why are they not good enough for a bad? You think you're bad because you purity? 99% of human beings are average. Women don't understand what percentage of men has this type of money. Then you got to take into consideration race. Then you got to take into consideration if they gay or not. There's so many factors they don't think about. They just say, this is what I want. It makes no sense. You're not finna go to no Fortune 500 company with no skills and say, oh, you don't get it just because you want it. The men that women say they want, does this man want you?
After talking to hundreds of you guys, I've realized something that I need to get off my chest. It is the men who are actually trying to save the relationships here, not the women. And what's crazy is that most of the women I've actually talked to and had consultation with tell me that their husbands are the ones sending them my videos. And that says everything. 70 to 80% of divorces are filed by women. That is not trying to fix a marriage. That is walking away from it. Most women threaten divorce long before they're ever ready to file. They use it as leverage until the man finally hits his breaking point and says, I'm done. And once he does say I'm done, that's when the gaslighting starts. She flips the script, plays the victim, promises to change, cries, manipulates, you name it. Anything to pull him back in because the control is slipping from her end. But when a man truly checks out, it's not loud, it is quiet, and it is final, and you've lost him. When a good man walks away, it is not because he stopped caring. It's because he cared too long and nobody met him halfway. So if you're watching this, man or woman, ask yourself, are you really trying to build your relationship and save it? Or are you slowly tearing it apart while you're...
Now, a lot of people will look at my channel and look at me and say, men are just as disrespectful. They will say that men talk down to women all the time. But let's look at the actual asymmetry. When a man is aggressive or disrespectful to a woman, he's universally condemned, arrested, or canceled. The hammer falls on him instantly. When a woman does it, it is framed as standing her ground or being independent, standing up for herself. So why would she be silenced? This imbalance is modern relationships. Men aren't walking away because they found someone else. They're walking away because they ran out of freaking peace. I've done videos on this already. They are tired of existing in a low-level, hostile environment where they have to defend their dignity against a person who is supposed to have their back. You cannot build a kingdom with a woman who treats you like a freaking opponent. Society will protect a woman's right to be reckless with her mouth, but nobody's looking out for the man's peace of mind. You have to do that yourself, gentlemen. And here's how you do it. You do it by setting the boundaries early, making disrespect incredibly expensive, and showing a total willingness to walk away if that boundary is ever crossed. Simple. Fathers, you have to join me in this. Do what I'm doing in my own house. Teach your daughters early as possible accountability at home. Remind them that the world out there is lying to them. It is telling them that being loud is strength, when real femininity, softness, and gentleness are actually a woman's highest value asset in a world full of noise.
There was a study done where men and women were hooked up to brain scanners as they watched people play a game. They got to see whether the people playing the game were playing fairly or whether they were cheating at the game. And the people playing were connected to electric shock machines. So electric shocks would go into these people as they were playing, and they would measure the brains of the men and women watching. So every time a player that was playing fairly got an electric shock, both men and women's empathy centers lit up. Whenever an electric shock would go into a person that was cheating, women's empathy centers lit up just the same as with the fair playing person. But men's empathy centers did not light up at all. Actually, their pleasure center lit up. Super key psychological distinction between men and women.
Never date a girl with these 3 traits. I don't care how good she looks. If she got these, she'll drain your peace, your energy, and your purpose. The first one is the victim. Every ex was toxic. Every boss was unfair. Every situation was someone else's fault. Bro, if she never takes accountability, that means you will take the blame for everything. Second, we got the attention addict. She's always posting, always needing validation, always got guy friends in her DMs. That's not confidence. That's insecurity in disguise. You will never be enough for someone who needs the world to notice her. And last, we got the manipulator. She gonna test you, disrespect you, and play games just to keep control. You can't win that game though. The only move is to walk away. Real talk. Protect your peace, not your ego. The wrong woman will slow down your mission faster than anything else. I promise.
I've always been a woman. My life's only been easier as a woman. I don't understand when all these women are crying and out. Women need to understand that you don't need a legacy like a man. Your legacy is your family that you raise and your children. That's the legacy that women need to understand is important. Women need to stop trying to become men because they can't become men and they're only going to fail at it. And when they try to become men, they become OnlyFans whores, sell their bodies online. And guess what? One day you're going to get old, you're going to get wrinkly, you're going to become like an old miserable hag like Chelsea Handler and be childless, husbandless. One day you're not going to be able to have kids and you're going to wish that maybe I didn't spend my whole life trying to be a boss babe and maybe I should have just done what society tells me not to do and got married and actually found a man. Like, serve your daddy husband and not your corporate boss. And that's how you'll be happy.
Here's some crazy research for you. So a third of men, 33%, a little over a third, of men between the ages of 18 and 29 are not only single, but they're not actively looking for a partner. The same study said that by the year 2030, that 45% of women between the ages of 20 and 45 will be single. So I've got a question for the men, because I see it all the time in my comments. Most of my comments are filled with guys saying we're done. We're not looking. We like our peace. I need some more talk from you guys. Tell me why you're done. Tell me why you don't want to have a partner in life. Tell me why it's more worth it to be single than to have a partner.
My New Orleans ladies, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to tell you. I don't have any, like, where are the men? And I know you're like, no, babe, that's what we're asking you. But now I'm asking you, where are they? Because I've had like 3 seemingly good men respond to my call for single men in New Orleans. I don't understand. And I see some of you men looking at my videos and my profile and saving them. What are you waiting for? Send me a message. Stop being weird.
Ladies, unfortunately, this is not a location issue. This is something that is happening across the board everywhere. Because men today have listened to the message that you prefer the bear over a man, the message that you don't want to be approached in public, the message that good men are like a needle in a haystack. And unfortunately, that means that he is going to have to work very, very, very hard at convincing you that he's one of those good men. Unfortunately, that means that that man is going to have an immense amount of energy to put in your direction. And honestly, in today's society where he's putting in a ton of effort just to survive, just to work a job, to build up his career, to build up his finances, that means that for a lot of these good men, dating has been pushed off to the side. It's not a priority to them. So you ask where to find these good men, they're either home, working, or just trying to avoid people.
4 times divorced, 4 times. Let's see, you tell me. What do you want to know?
What is the most toxic thing that you've ever done?
Okay, let's do this. All right, take them to court and then get a good divorce lawyer, of course. Take them for half of the retirement. Take them half of their property and then fight them for higher child support, okay? And a couple of years from now, hit you up for more child support every 3 years. Every 3 years, you go up from maybe 200 to 300 to 400 to 500. You bring it up to $2,000 per child. But I got one child right here, and right here, her daddy paying child support for her. Of course, it always is.
Fathers produce a hormone in great quantities called vasopressin. Vasopressin is the protective aggressive hormone.
And what does it do? It helps fathers to protect their family. There was a study that was done where mothers and fathers lay in bed and the baby cries, and the fathers sleep through the baby's distress cries, but the mothers wake up right away. Okay. But with the rustling of leaves outside the window, the mothers sleep through it and the fathers wake up right away. Because the fathers are attuned to burial threat. So our nurturing hormones make us different.
And Pearl, I'm telling you, she hit the nail on the head. A lot of these things that, honestly, truly, you could say it for men too. A lot of these things that we buy aren't really necessary, but because of marketing and society, we feel like you have to have it. I gotta have makeup. I gotta have, this subscription or this TV or this type of car. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't need that. You don't have to have that. You can buy things that, are dependable. They're good. And you can keep those things until, okay, I'm in a better position to get something better. Right. And I know for a lot of people, it's a hard lesson to learn. I get it. I'm telling you, I understand it. And I'm right there with you. Right. So I'm not trying to trash you or talk down to you. My point is, a lot of these things that we do in society, well, I need you to pay for my hair. I need you to pay for my nails. I need you to pay for my eyebrows, my lashes. A lot of these things you don't actually need. Basic hygiene would take care of that.
I was on this first date a couple weeks ago, and I said something completely off the cuff, and the response that I got from this guy was something that I will never forget, so obviously I have to share it with you. He asked me, what are you looking for? Because that's usually what comes up on a first date, right? And I was honest. I was like, I'm ready for a partner, but I want a partner that we have alignment. And he leaned in and he was like, okay, well, what do you mean by alignment? And I said, I just had this moment where I just dropped into my body, and I was just like, honestly, beyond, being the same when it comes to morals, values, lifestyle, and, emotional health and whatnot, I genuinely have hit the point where I'm tired. I'm tired of doing life alone. I'm tired of being my own level of encouragement. I'm tired of being my own best friend, and I need a man. I need a partner. And I don't feel like I need a man to complete me, because I'm very happy with who I am, but I'm genuinely ready to have somebody who's going to date me and be there for me in deeper level ways. In his body language, he his shoulders dropped. He took a breath. He sipped his drink, and he just had this smile on his face. And he was like, that's really refreshing to hear. And we continued then to have a great first date. And it was so, his whole demeanor changed after that. He started opening up to me about the lessons he learned from his past relationship. And we kind of got deep into personal development work. It was the whole dynamic changed simply because I was literally willing to sit there and say, I do need a man. Now, the caveat is I'm not going to settle for just any man. But me saying that from the bottom of my heart, I saw a change in him. And the reason why I know that it hit him well is because there's a deep need for healthy men to feel valued in partnerships. And we, very ambitious and independent women, feel like if we actually admit that we're tired and we want a healthy partnership, that it's going to come off needy or that we're too much. And I started doing deep level work years ago to shift that belief. I literally just don't believe it anymore. If you think that I'm needy because I'm saying I need a partner, you're not my person. If you think that I'm too much because I'm asking you to provide me some extra encouragement and support as I scale my business, you're not my partner. I am not available anymore for a man who just wants to plan, weekly dates and send me good morning texts. It's the 21st century. I want an actual partner. And what's cool is I've developed into the type of woman that's not afraid to express that, knowing that the wrong man is going to be triggered by it and he's going to leave, and the right man is going to be activated by it and he's going to step up and pursue me. Sure enough, he asked for a second date even before the check came, and we had a great second date. There were some other things that came up that we weren't in alignment with, and that's okay. But it was one of the first times where I genuinely saw a man like relax and say like, thank you so much for admitting that. Like, that's really refreshing. So if there's a part of you that's afraid to admit the truth, which is that you genuinely want a partner too, you know, like why not start speaking your truth so you actually start to attract men who want to be your man?
Girls, I have to ask you something for a second. Why do so many of you choose the man who looks good in pictures over the man who could actually raise your children, be a good husband, and provide for you? Why do you want Ken when what you really need is a king? Every day I hear women saying, I want the tall guy, the six-pack abs, the millionaire lifestyle, drives the right car. But let me ask you, when did a six-pack ever raise a family? When did a sports car ever protect your heart? When did a man's bank account ever teach you how your son is supposed to be a man? It's disgusting, honestly. You chase the perfect Instagram boyfriend, rich, good-looking, flashy, but forget the things that actually matter. His virtues, loyalty, character, values. A man who won't make you second-guess your worth. A man who will lift you up when life knocks you down. A man who will never betray you. You say you want a high-value man, but you're not even describing one. You're describing a Ken doll with a wallet, a prop. And the truth, that's why so many women end up hurt, broken, and wondering why love doesn't last for them. Real high value is not about money or looks. It's about legacy. Who's going to lead you? Who's going to challenge you in life in the best ways? Who's going to be the father you trust for your children? That's what makes a man high value. And until women start choosing based on that, the cycle of heartbreak will never end. So next time you make a laundry list of what you want in a man, cross off rich and hot for a second and ask yourself, who would I trust with my future? Because that is the man that deserves to be with you.
So the ladies will be like, Kendra, tell him to take off his hat. How much is this? How much, how tall is he? And I was like, y'all already know how I roll. I don't tell men to take off their hats because I don't tell y'all to take off your wigs. I don't ask men their height because I don't ask you your weight. But I have to, but it's important that I do that because what I will say, and I am team women, women at times, we have the luxury, like, I'm hair, makeup, we have the luxury to increase our pretty. A man just has to be genetically blessed. And I hear it all the time. Like, this is the true story. You said something about content. The crazy thing is, I don't create content. These are real people. Like, I don't even have to make nothing up. I had a woman who is paralyzed, 62, for 4 years she's been paralyzed. I asked the questions. I said, well, we gotta look a certain way. She was like, yeah, he gotta be 6'2". I said, now. I said, but you ain't. I said, ma'am, and it got emotional. She cried in it. Like, it was like a roller. I'm going to send you the video. You're going to watch this. It was like a roller coaster of her emotions because she's paralyzed, right? But I said, why he got to be 6'2"? She said, I don't want no short man. I wear heels. So this is what I deal with. And with love, I try to break this barrier because I love my Black women. I think you're amazing, but sometimes you're not somebody's preference. How much of your life are you going to waste waiting on a man who is literally you're invisible to?
So that right there.
Oh, it looks like your phone is buzzing. I'm doing the dishes right now. Do you mind checking it for me? You want me to check your phone for you? Yeah, the passcode is 2128. Who was it? Babe, who texted me? It's Mark. He was asking if you were free this weekend to hang out. Tell him I'm busy. Tell him I'm hanging out with you. Wait, what? Tell him we're going apple picking this weekend to get fresh apples for apple pies. Okay. All right, we're done. What kind of wicked game is this?
Can we stop villainizing men? Because, it's kind of it up for all of us. You know what I mean? Because it's like,
we're constantly telling guys, like, you're so toxic. I hate you. You know? But, like, I kind of like men. And, I kind of want, like, a good one to marry me. And if all of the men in the world feel like we hate them, I don't think that's gonna happen. You know what I mean? So, I just feel like we need to, be nicer to the guys. Just a thought.
Like, once a girl exposes toxic, manipulative behavior, like she's trying to run game on me, that's when I now open up the doors. Like, I have no remorse. Like, I'm gonna show you that I don't lose in this game. But I would never play with you like that if you would have stayed respectful and you would have stayed in pocket the whole time. I treat you like a queen, treat me like a king.
Okay, yeah.
As long as we stay there, I promise you, my energy is not switching. My actions are not switching. It's when you start acting like you're above me because of how I've been treating you. Now I'm gonna show you that I don't lose in this game. You should have never did that to me.
It's the of the bachelor mindset. It's the promiscuity. It's the of the wandering eye. It's the of immoral behavior. It's the of texting girls casually. It's the of I get to do what I want to do. It's the of just going to the bar with friends. It's the of acting like an infant. It's the of playing video games till 1 a.m. And it's the birth of a man.
And there's a woman, she was talking about a study, and it's a really interesting study, right? And then so you have in that particular experiment, social experiment, you had men and women. They're playing a game, you know, that had money and stuff like that, and they're kept. They had it to where there was one player that kept on taking their money and then not giving anything back, right? So not reciprocating. And so while they were looking at everybody's brain scans and so on and so forth, they were watching people receive a painful shock. And when the person was suffering, but they played fairly, then people were like, why are you doing that? They had empathy for the person. But when the person that was playing unfairly and continued to take people's money and didn't reciprocate, they got shocked. You saw empathy go down. And even in men, you saw their pleasure center or their reward center light up. Essentially to say, you know, maybe this is what you get. It wasn't the man putting their hands on anybody or doing any of that, but it's, and you kind of see this in the content, and you hear this in what men are saying. I'm putting out money, I'm reciprocating, I do things like I buy you flowers, chocolates, I take you to the game, and you give me nothing in return, right? That's unfair. And that's why a lot of men are walking away. And so when you see these modern women go out here and they get done wrong and they get pumped and dumped by Chad and they try to come running back, you better believe empathy for men has gone down. Empathy in men has gone down. And the reward system is lit up. It's lit all the way up. Because what are you doing out there besides messing around?
Just like that, your boy is back. This lady has been on the internet cooking. She came up with the slogan, the single you is the married you. Let's check it out.
School that I have online where the single you is the married you, right? So even when I'm single, I am looking the same as when I'm married. I'm talking the same as when I'm married. There's certain language I don't use. There's certain clothing that I don't put on. even when I'm single. But what women want to believe is the single them is different than the married them. That all of a sudden they're going to become modest and they're going to speak a different way and do a different thing. No, baby, I cook now, clean now. I take care of myself, take care of the people in my life. I dress modestly. I make sure that I'm clean in my speech, right? The single you is the married you.
What you got to say about the women who be like they're in that soft girl era, the villain girl era, hot girl summer?
Life is about patterns, though, and what you've done in the past, there's a pretty strong chance that you're going to do it in the future. So that's what people don't realize, that when you practice being degenerate, that's not something you're going to lay down overnight. I tell men this too. Can we be honest? Men who are hoes, men who are out here sleeping around and then think that a ring is going to keep them faithful. It isn't.
Let her cook. A man that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. That means she was a wife when I found her. Booking love, baby. Where's she at? Huh? Let her cook. I ain't about.
We got this in our DMs just yesterday, and I want to talk about it because Love Island and Caleb in Love Island is popping off right now. Seems to be some sort of a warped perception that women are only going for really, really, really attractive men who have a lot of money. So to put things into perspective, I want to show you this video.
Can a man do to show you that he's interested in you, that he's being intentional, and makes you just go, yes?
Steph says she loves when a man takes charge. We love decisions being taken away from us and forehead kisses. Dee says she wants someone who's curious about her inner world and to ask her a deep question and just be interested in the answer. Kaylin says, honestly, just being vulnerable, being capable of emotional vulnerability is a different kind of strength. And Nessie says the sexiest thing a man can do is express clear communication about his intention, follow through, and just create emotional safety and presence. So if you're still buying into the notion that women are just after your money or looking for someone who is Hollywood level attractive, then I am so glad you found me. I am here to debunk all of that, teach you the art of actually attracting women into your life by creating emotional and physical safety for her. And if this is something you're interested in, then comment the word guide and I will send you the blueprint for free of how to get started. Because having women be magnetized to you just because of your presence isn't something reserved specifically for Caleb from Love Island or anyone else you see on TV. You can activate it too, and I will teach you how. Comment the word guide.
Pay close attention to how someone leaves a relationship, because that's exactly how they'll leave the next relationship. A term I learned in therapy called monkey branching. When someone doesn't fully let go of one relationship before securing the next, they swing from person to person, never sitting in the discomfort of being alone. Instead of processing a breakup like a normal person, they attach to someone new. So they don't heal, they transition. They start pulling away from you emotionally, and they keep you around while building something with someone new. They breadcrumb you so that you don't fully walk away. A lot of times this is associated with people in narcissistic relationships, people with attachment issues. They don't know how to be alone, so they do whatever it takes not to be alone. And a lot of times this is why we are left seeking closure in relationships, because closure requires accountability, and monkey branchers avoid accountability at all costs. Some people don't end relationships, they overlap them. And this has nothing to do with your worth and everything to do with their inability to be alone.
Men, I'm just so very sad. I'm laughing, but I'm sad. The amount of men who have commented and said they absolutely will not approach a woman anymore is so sad. The reasoning behind it is so kind of all over the place. A lot of men don't want to deal with potential rejection. They say how rude some women can be, like if they just are trying to pay a compliment and a woman's like, I guess has an attitude with them. But at the same time, I'm like, well, how are you complimenting her? Because if it's offensive, then kind of understand. But if it's just a, hey, hello, nice to see you, how's your day? You know, there's no reason to be rude. But at the same time, women are almost conditioned to think any man who steps to them is going to do something that's off kilter. What do we do? Because a lot of us women still look for the chivalrous man, and the chivalrous man is scared to come to the lady who would accept chivalry. I don't know what to do.
They be saying like a woman would submit naturally if a man was leading properly. I be saying like that. And I just be wondering, if I gotta go off and do my man on my own, right? Develop my leadership skills and all that. Why the f do I have to make you submissive? Ooh. Why do I have to make you a follower? Again, I'm not talking to y'all because you know nobody ever wears that shoe. I'm not talking to y'all. I just be seeing these memes that say that men are the reason that women are not feminine and that men are the reason. I'm not saying we ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm just saying if I solely have to do with my process as far as me becoming a leader and becoming more masculine or whatever you deem that to be, then why is it that I also have to be responsible for the process that you have to go through to become an effective follower? I'm just saying if I gotta go do my work, you go do yours, and let's meet when we both healthy. You feel me? Because a lot of these questions be coming from an unhealthy place. You expect a man to somehow bring a structure into some that you're not ready to follow.
When the women in their 30s come online to say, where are the men in their 30s? Where do they hang out? What do they do? I get such secondhand embarrassment. Because it's like, girl, I think, okay, so society has lied to women, unfortunately. And a lot of girls thought in their 20s, I'm just gonna, live, laugh, love, 20s are for fun, ha ha ha. And then when they turn 30, they're like, okay, I'm ready to be serious. Where are the men? The men are gone. A lot of the good men are gone because the ones that knew that they wanted to be husbands and fathers are typically already husbands and fathers by the time that they're 30, or at least working towards that, because a lot of people don't want to be old parents or whatever. And the other half that are still left are the ones who either didn't want to be husbands and fathers in the first place, so they weren't on track to doing that, or the ones that tried to be that and then probably failed at their previous relationships. So you're looking at leftovers, babe. And you yourself have now become one of those leftovers. Sorry. I hope you find one though.
Watch this video.
The moment a woman stops respecting her man, watch what happens to his attraction for her. It doesn't fade slowly, it dies. And here's what nobody tells you about that. Respect is not optional. It's the foundation. A man can handle almost anything except being disrespected by the woman he's chosen. He stops giving freely because why would he pour into someone who treats him like he's not enough? When she stops seeing his effort and his discipline, when she starts taking shots at his character or questioning his decisions in front of others, that's not ego. That is self-preservation.
You can do anything you want to do. You're smart enough, you're decent looking, you can do anything you want to do.
Why did you say decent looking?
Because that's where you fall.
I feel like you could say like good looking.
You could say that, but then you'd be lying.
I mean...
Hey, I'm right there with you. You're not alone.
I mean, you were in the same bracket?
Well, I'm ahead of you, but yeah. Because I'm 33, we'll see where you're at 33, buddy, okay? That's all I gotta say.
So I'm a bigger woman, and this guy tells me, oh, I'm not interested in talking to you because of your size. I was like, it's okay, honey. You obviously don't have the right tools for the job anyway, so I'll just go find somebody with better equipment that can handle it.
Let me introduce you to the Kalmar DCG.
do understand that not every woman, you know, because she was talking about something about Love Island and the notion that men believe that all women just want the ultra successful, good looking guy or something like that. Well, no, we don't. We just want a man that's, he communicates effectively and he cares about my concerns and yada, yada, yada. And that's essentially what it turns into. Yada, yada, yada for these modern women. Because a man will do all of that and you say, oh, he is really sweet. He's very, very nice. But I'm just not attracted to him. Do you think that he's ugly? No, just we're friends. He's not the one. There's something about him that's not the one. Okay? But understand that if you maybe go through a handful of men that are not the one. But modern women are going through literally thousands of men who are not the one. There's no man that measures up. There's no man that can meet your specific needs. Well, yeah, you know, I have a guy that, you know, he's got about 90 to 95% of the things I want. But then that last 5%, I really, really, really want to see if I can complete that and get that. And you say you end up being alone because no man is ever good enough. No man is ever good enough.
That's why I prefer to date women with kids.
No.
That's you know.
That's a good option.
Because
that's a strong choice right there.
because both of you all understand that y'all gotta compromise and y'all got other people that you have to adjust your schedules around, and you all just tend to click a little bit better when it comes to that when you have kids. Whereas people that don't have kids, they tend to be just a tad bit more selfish with your time to them.
Well, you feel that way because you have kids. People who don't have kids are like wanting you to spend the time with each other all the time.
Yeah.
Of course, but you know what you get into when you get into it. So you have to, coming into that as a person without kids, you have to understand that you're gonna have to share.
You're right.
This person.
That's what they need to know.
Compromise with them. And when they don't understand it, that's when y'all gonna bump heads.
Yeah.
We talk about the average man that's on dating apps. That man has to swipe right 200 times before he plans one coffee date, and 4 of those 5 coffee dates will end up ghosting him. That means that that man of average attractiveness has to swipe right 1,000 times before actually going on one coffee date. That man has to have so much internal self-confidence and self-worth for this not to start chipping away at who he is. And then on top of that, women all day long will tell him that that man just needs to do better. He needs to grow as a person. He needs to be funnier. He should dress better, and he should start taking better pictures. He should redo his dating profile. That man very often will do these things. But more often than not, there is no change, and then that man just becomes more frustrated with dating today. So much so that that man just decides to stay single. And that man will either just get lucky someday and he'll eventually meet a good woman, or he will find happiness in his singleness.
No matter how well you lead, the women ain't gonna listen. Here comes a victim, enter the chat. They never take long. So I'm gonna say this for the record. The people who are already looking where you're going don't need persuasion to go there. You gotta fight somebody who's going in a different direction. They have a different vision. They don't see the same thing. So when you're trying to lead somebody that's going in a different direction, yeah, you're gonna have some problems. Discernment must be off. How did you get to a point where it's been 3 years? You said 3 years, huh? That you tried to get this woman to get on your program. I don't know how good of a leader you could be to be wasting your time in such a way. I think a good leader is a good time manager. You aren't as good of a leader as you thought.
Being autistic is an ick. No neurotypical woman wants an autistic man because autistic men have traits that every woman doesn't like. Like, they're so boring. They just yap about their special interests. They can't yap about anything else. They can't read the room. They can't read social cues. So they can't read how you're feeling or what you want. And they have huge rejection sensitivity, which means they're going to be very needy and very clingy, which might lead them to have meltdowns. And you do not want to date a guy with meltdowns. That's why if you're an autistic man, you're cooked at dating.
I'm telling you right now, stop looking for high value men in high-end bars and restaurants. I promise these high value men are not in a bar at 11 o'clock at night, already in bed by 10 p.m. and they're up by 5 a.m. for like tea time, red light therapy, to work out. If you want to find these high value men, then you need to look in high value places. Think like a country club, members only. But if you're anything like me in your 20s, you're probably not going to find your soulmate in like a country club. The only reason why I use the dating app Cuffed because you can only talk to one person at a time. A lot more like commitment, long-term focused. There's no and games tied to it. We're looking for high value men in high value places.
Men, this must stop right now. I'm about to give you some behaviors that men need to stop doing in 2021. Some simp behaviors. Let's go. 1. Men need to stop tolerating women's disrespect and behavior. There's a lot of complaints about the way women are in today's times. Women are the way that they are because there's an abundance of men who accept it. And remember, every time you tolerate a woman's, you do every other man on the planet a disservice. Number 2, taking back and forgiving women who cheat on you. If another man conquers a woman who's supposed to be committed to you, game over. Once she crossed that line, all respect is gone and you'll never, ever get that respect back. That's a confidence issue though. Go click the link in my bio and you can fix that. Number 3, catching feelings for sneaky links and jump offs. Fam, listen, every woman ain't trying to be wifed up.
Hey yo, a quick word of advice for your mental health. Prioritize people that prioritize you. All right, like stop making excuses for people. Okay, when someone truly values you, they will make the effort. You don't have to complicate things. It won't be in question. You won't have these weird feelings about it. Like, nah, you will know. Okay, it's not just about finding time. It's about making time. People make time for what matters to them.
If I could do it all over again, I wouldn't be in no relationship with nobody. It's not necessary. It's not even worth it. You don't need nobody. You don't. You don't need nobody to be complete. You need you to be complete. I wouldn't. It's a waste of time, waste of energy, waste of resources, waste of life. You know, I think the problem is people think that they just have to have somebody. No, you have to have you. You have to have you. If you don't have you, having somebody else ain't gonna matter and make a difference anyway. I wouldn't. If I could do it all over again, I would not be with nobody. I would be building myself and building my life and enjoying the fruits of my labor by myself and with a turtle, a dog, or a fish tank, cat, whatever. Oh man, you getting into relationships, that's a lot of work. Just think of it like this. Relationship means work. Doesn't mean fighting. Okay, we think that relationship means conflict, fighting. No, it means work. And I wouldn't want to put the work in again. No, even with the perfect woman. Nope, nope. I want to make the perfect life for me by myself first. And once I've successfully done that, then maybe, that's a small maybe.
Johnny, there's something I need to tell you before we go steady.
What's the news, Susie Q?
I had a boyfriend before I dated you, and I kissed him once on the lips.
What? I didn't know I was dating the town bicycle.
Oh, Johnny, I'm so sorry.
No, I'm sorry, Susie, but I want a modest woman, not some harlot. You know, now that we're married, I was just wondering, what's your body count?
Oh, 157 after I went to Brazil and they dumped water on my head to reset it to 0. So before that, 742.
Oh, thank God. I thought you were going to say something crazy.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'm going out with my friends tonight and I'm going to sleep at Jessica's.
All right. Bye, babe. Have fun. I got to keep her.
You want to be right or you want to be wrong? Which one?
Do you want to be right or do you want to be married?
That's right.
You want to be married.
Yeah, that's true. Because you listen.
Well,
because the thing is, women have to be comfortable enough to be soft enough to be wrong. You understand what I'm saying? Like we need a whole lot of comfort to say, you know what? It's safe to be wrong here. It's safe to be, because
Think about it.
How much
There's
damn safety does this woman need? I
she
mean,
needs
you
to
got
know
my
that you're
money.
not going to throw it in my face later, that you're not going to make me feel like I'm stupid, that you're going to lead with a teachable, like this is a teachable moment as opposed to I told you so moment.
Okay, is it actually true that a guy treats you the way he wants to be treated first, and then he starts treating you the way you've been treating him?
No, that's not true at all. I'm Max Butterfield, Dr. Max Butterfield. I study this kind of thing for a living, and I make daily reels about love, dating, attraction, relationships, and a whole bunch of other cool stuff. I don't have much cleavage to show you, but I can tell you what the data says. And you know what? My data is probably better than your data. So follow me if you want to know more. And again, like I said, no cleavage. Well, I mean a little.
Why should we hire you?
Well, I actually didn't come here looking for a job. I came here looking for a man.
My man. Thank you to my man.
Yeah. Happily? Happily?
We're happily married.
Like, are you sure?
Yeah, we're
Are you positive?
Yeah, we're good.
Oh, okay. How long? Like, has it been?
Long enough. Yeah.
Oh, long enough. Long enough. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was fired. How do I feel about that? I just want a man. That's all it is. And he has to have money. So I don't know if I mentioned that, but yeah.
You sent a tweet to Blacked. We can't show it, but you recall what it said.
Is it the gang one?
Sort of. But
I basically wanted a train to get ran on me by a bunch of BBC men.
okay, I'll just say, you said that you wanted to get filled up by every black man on the Blacked roster.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Yeah. So my birthday is coming up in March. I actually am planning like a 25 to 30 man gang for that.
That is 20 to 30 minutes for your birthday?
25 to 30, yes, sir.
So I like the conversation that they were having on tonight's conversation. You're saying, man, I really like dating women with kids because, we're coming from the same place. I know that I'm going to have to share her. She knows that she's going to have to share me. A lot of modern women don't feel that way. A lot of modern women are saying, well, I'm first priority to you, but you are never going to be first priority to me. And that's the problem. I think a lot of men, even though they like to say they don't, a lot of men understand the dynamic, and they'll even work harder to put in the effort to say, hey, no, I get where you're coming from. Your kid is your world. I have to work to be a part of this dynamic, and I will do that. But it always seems like the man is on the outside looking in. It always seems like in a lot of these situations, the man, and it really puts him in the place of somebody who's begging for affection. I know it probably doesn't seem like that, but if you step back and see how it looks, it's putting him in a position to kind of say, whatever I do, I just want to be accepted, right? I love your mom, and I want to be a part of your life as well. I understand you might have a father, but if me and your mom are together, you can come to me about anything, right? I'm not trying to replace anybody, but I'm here for you. The same support I want to give your mom, I want to give to you. Maybe I support you in a different way than I support her, but I'm still available to you if you ever need to talk about something. If you ever need me to help on something, I'm here. Men put themselves out there. And 2 or 3 years down the road, when the woman says, oh, you were never his dad anyway, yada, 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 I exerted effort like a father would. I exerted resources like a father would. That's why I'm having a problem with what you're telling me right now. Because you discard me like I never meant anything to you.